After I spent $8,000 of my own money on small gun safes, I tested the biometrics, I found deadly design flaws, I tested long-term reliability, and a couple of safes broke all by themselves. And then I probably tested over 10 small gun safes to see just how tough they really are. And with all that, these are my top gun safe picks. This is the King Fort Knox PB1 multi-gun safe. Main features: when I lock my gun in a little tank of a safe, I want to know I can get it out. That's why I'm 100% sold on the Kaba Simplex push button lock. And it's not cheap all by itself, as you can see here. Plus, Fort Knox has a lifetime warranty and are made in the USA. And now onto my pry rating. I tried to pry into this little tank, and as you can see here with my PB1 model, I can tell you this: my pry tools are pretty much useless. Even if I could get some pry leverage, you're now dealing with thick 10 gauge steel and this massive steel bolt. I base my top tier rating system on how Fort Knox safes are designed and built. The Fort Knox gets a 5 out of 5 pry rating. Now my quick access rating. If my life is on the line, I don't want batteries or electronics to worry about. I want a 100% mechanical safe, and that's why my Fort Knox is my personal bedside safe. The push button lock is fast and easy to use, and it's just going to work for years to come. The Fort Knox earns a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought: Fort Knox safes are my go-to vehicle safes. Neither extreme cold or heat will affect these little tanks. This is Viking Security multi-gun safe. Main features: no keys, no batteries to worry about, and the best mechanical push button lock for quick, reliable access. The Kaba Simplex lock is not cheap all by itself, as you can see here. With Viking, you also get interior LED light. The Viking safe also comes in many other configurations, as you can see here. And now onto my pry rating. The Viking safe is built tough with a 5mm door. The door is also laser cut. This makes for a smaller gap that is harder to insert pry tools. Also features a 40mm Steelhead bolt. This is a 27-pound tank of a small safe. In my pry testing of other safes, this is up there with the Fort Knox. These are next level small safes with massive pry protection. The Viking safe gets a 5 out of 5 pry rating. Now my quick access rating. The most important thing you need when you place your gun in a tank of a little safe is knowing you can get it out quickly and reliably. And with this push button lock, you can 100% get in when you need to. This is my standard lock for quick access. The Viking safe gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought: for the price, they are the best bang for the buck. You really can't beat a mechanical safe. This is V-Line's push button gun safe. Main features: this V-Line safe has enough room for a 1911 or 2 compact handguns, as you can see here. This safe is my standard for 100% quick access, and that is thanks to its mechanical Simplex push button lock. Made from 16 gauge steel with pry resistant clamshell lid that extends completely over the sides of the safe. Also has 4 pre-drilled mounting holes for permanent placement. V-Line safes are made in the USA. And now onto my pry rating. It may only be 16 gauge steel, but with V-Line's clamshell design and continuous hinge, and when bolted down, the V-Line is pretty much pry attack proof. The V-Line gets a 5 out of 5 pry rating. Now my quick access rating. The Simplex lock is also made in the USA, and it's not cheap all by itself. Simplex locks are easy to reprogram and even easier to use. This is the lock I use for my personal quick access gun safe. With no batteries or electronics to worry about, and even better, no keyhole to pick open, these push button locks simply can't be beat. The V-Line gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought: I've had my V-Line safe for over 3 years, and after spending $8,000 on different small safes, which ones do I believe will still be working in 50 years, this V-Line would be one of those safes. This is V-Line's Brute XD push button gun safe. Main features: this one is thick, constructed of rugged 10 gauge steel with an overlapping lid, making it virtually pry proof when bolted down to a secure surface. Has a gas strut to help lift and lower that heavy steel lid, and the best lock in the small safe industry, that being the Simplex Kaba push button lock. And now onto my pry rating. From my test on similar safes like you see here with my Fort Knox, with its own very pry resistant design, the Brute XD takes it to another level with its 100% overlapping design. If you need more protection than a Fort Knox or Viking safe, this is the one. The V-Line Brute XD gets a 6 out of 5 pry rating. It just broke my rating system. Now my quick access rating. The Simplex lock that is also made in the US is not cheap all by itself. They are easy to reprogram and even easier to use. This is the lock I use for my personal quick access gun safe, with no batteries or electronics to think about, and even better, with no keyhole to pick open. It's truly lockpicking lawyer proof. The V-Line Brute XD gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought: all V-Line push button safes make perfect vehicle safes. With no electronics or batteries to worry about, neither extreme hot or cold will affect these safes. You really can't beat a mechanical gun safe. This is the V-Line Hideaway Safe. Main features: the Hideaway Safe is the perfect under desk safe, as you can see here. It features the best quick access lock, and that is the Simplex push button lock. This is my top choice for 100% reliable quick access. And with the pull out shelf, you can easily store 2 handguns, as you can see here. And now onto my pry rating. V-Line safes are well designed and make for a hard to pry open safe. And for my destructive pry test of 10 safes in this small safe category, I give the V-Line Hideaway Safe a 5 out of 5 pry rating. Now my quick access rating. The Simplex Kaba lock is not cheap all by itself, as you can see here. With no batteries or electronics to worry about, just a proven mechanical lock that's going to work 100% when you need it to. The V-Line safe gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought: the safe is made in the USA. If your life is on the line, this is the brand you want. This is the Stealth Shadow SV1 gun safe. Main features: this is the most secure gun safe you can buy, even more secure than a Fort Knox, Feline, or even Viking safe, and here's why. The Stealth Shadow features a UL-approved S&G Spartan Electronics deadbolt. This thing is even EMP rated. S&G locks are the type of electronics found on bigger safes. You won't find this on any other small safes. The Stealth safe features a super thick 7-gauge steel lid, 10-gauge steel body with a gas strut to help lift that heavy lid, foam interior with space for 2 full-size pistols. And now onto my pry rating. With the 7-gauge steel lid and steel deadbolt, the Stealth safe is on another level of protection. Even a skilled attacker is going to have major problems with this little safe. If you need the best of the best, this is it. The SV1 gets a 6 out of 5 rating. It just broke my rating system. Now my quick access rating. The UL listed S&G electronic lock is simply the best you can find in the small safe category. Just simply input your code and twist the dial and you're in. The ShadowVault SV1 gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, the Shadow SV1 is the most secure small gun safe you can find. This would be my go-to storage option, but also a great quick access bedside safe. It's a tank. How I rate stuff. I know it looks like I rate everything highly, but I really did spend $8,000 on these small safes, all put on my credit cards. And then I get no views on YouTube. Alright, enough about my suffering, so let's start with the curious case of the Bill Conch. This locker would lock down in place with your right hand, as you can see here, but with only one small tap in the middle of the lid, it would open all by itself. I even thought it might have been possessed by Satan, but that actually turned out not to be the case. You have to press down in the middle of the lid to lock the lid down, as there are 2 locking latches with this locker. And trust me, that's one deadly design. Now onto the pry test. The Bill Conch was tougher than I thought it would be with this sheet metal build. And as you can see here, the 2 locking latches broke off into the body, but they did detach from the sheet metal lid. The Bill Conch got a 2.5 out of 5 pry rating. Now here is the RPMB lockbox, with only one tiny locking latch, as you can see here. By the way, if you ever see this tiny locking latch design, it's probably not going to be a tough locker. Anyway, here is the full pry test. And there you go, 8 seconds to pry open. The RPMB got a 1 out of 5 pry rating. This list is not in order because I wanted to show this Sifley lockbox, as it has a similar latch design as the RPMB. It was a little tougher and took 1 minute and 8 seconds with stage 1 pry tools. The Sifley got a 2 out of 5 pry rating. And here is the RPMB single pistol locker. Side note, this locker would drain its batteries as it sat. This is not good and was the only locker to have battery drain issues. And here is the full pry test. And that's another 1 out of 5 pry rating for RPMB. Let's move up half a rating from the RPMB with the Onias. The Onias looks just like the Ananus. I'm just gonna call it the Anus from now on. They do look the same, but they are not 100% the same. And here is the Anus test, starting with stage 1. So let's see how fast we get in here. The anus just popped open in 13 seconds with stage 1 pry tools. And here is the Onias test. So that one took 35 seconds and actually bent the lid. The Onias earned a 1.5 out of 5 pry rating. And here is the only cheap brand that stood out, even though it was recalled for its biometrics. But I do believe Allsafe has fixed the biometric issues as of now. I really thought I was going to get in fast and easy with this under $100 safe. But as you can see here, it does have a nice size single locking latch. And to my surprise, took 3 minutes and 82 seconds with level 3 pry tools. And so there is my 3 out of 5 pry rating. Now we move to a stage 4 rating, the Sentry safe. You will need to go to my channel and find the full test, because it took 23 minutes and 47 seconds with stage 3 pry tools. That was not fun or easy, trust me. So what is a stage 5 rating? Pretty much means pry attacks aren't going to work. Here is my Fort Knox PB1. The design alone prevents any possibility to pry into, as you can see here. Stage 5 is pretty much angled grinder territory. And there you go, my 1 out of 5 pry rating system. Until next time, see you then.